tomorrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before, and the bird said nevermore.
You're listening to the Call Podcast with Brandon and Josh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of The Call. It is a Baltimore Ravens podcast where we talk anything and everything Baltimore Ravens football. Thank you all for listening to us on all of your favorite podcast platforms, especially Overcast. And we are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Happy Purple Friday. Here we go.
There's nothing happy about this. No. Nothing happy about anything.
There's been a lot
grumpy, frustrating Purple Friday. There's no happy right now.
You know
Stop
what? I'm
with
gonna
the happy. This isn't no.
Is it kind of weird that the Ravens lost in like embarrassing fashion on Monday night?
It's not weird. It's normal.
No, that happens, and then it rains for like 4 days straight here in Baltimore.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not happy about it because I have plans outside, and I've had no rain cancellations all year, and then here we go. It's like monsoon season.
Speaking of purple rain, that's what we got, man. This is nuts. We got 2 hurricanes coming towards us in Maryland as well. Like, they're developing. Like, this has not been a good weather week for Maryland, but it all started with the collapse on Monday night, and woof, that was awful. But here we go. We're going to hit the road. Going to Kansas City, getting some barbecue.
No.
Up against the Chiefs on Sunday. Not a primetime game, though. Not a primetime. It's an mid-afternoon game.
Sort of.
Ends in primetime.
It's a late afternoon window. We got the NFL Today live on location at Arrowhead. It's Jim Nance, Tony Romo, the CBS crew. So, and most of the country will be seeing this game. So, it's game of the week, game of the year. So, obviously, we know that the landscape of these two teams. They're not coming in 2-1. They're not coming in at 3-0, which would have been fantastic. No. One of these two teams, now barring an absolute crazy, a tie would be the best thing. For Ravens at least. But barring a tie, one of these two teams that were top 3 Super Bowl favorites, top 5 Super Bowl favorites this year, one of these teams are going to be 1-3 to start the season. Chiefs started 0-2. They got their first win in week 3. Ravens, started 0-1. They got the week, it's been, loss, win, loss. They're kind of following that pattern. Here we sit. You did a wonderful job on the wake-up call, breaking the aftermath down. Me and you were present for the game.
Yep.
Here we are again. Same old broken record, Brandon. What do we do? A lot of people are searching for answers. A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are throwing in the towel. There's some things that are broken on this team. There's some major concerns. Ravens are playing at a high level on offense. Look, Lamar's got his flaws, holding on to the ball too long, not throwing it away, not running it when he should just take off. If the pass rush is getting to him, just take off. Burn him with the legs, man. So, but Lamar is playing masterful at this point. He's putting up numbers. Ravens lead the league in scoring offensively, and yet they have a sub-500 record. And, there's cause for concern right now. The ship is close to taking on water, really, Brandon. And if we start 1-3 here, it's next week's not going to be pretty. I'm going to tell you this right now. Ravens start 1-3. The wake-up call will be fire and brimstone.
Well, I did the wake-up call on Monday night around 1 a.m. because I was wired after that game. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to bed anytime soon. I'm just going to record a little wake-up call, get everybody prepped. Because, you're at the game all the time. I never get to go to the games. And it was, listen to that wake-up call if you want to hear about my experience. But best part of the entire night was the pregame and the halftime show. The actual game was awful. But there's a lot of concerns, and it's yes, there are concerns with Derrick Henry and Lamar and the offense, but there's a lot of injuries, and I talked about this on the wake-up call on Thursday morning. Nnamdi Madubuike, I think that's the big story this week in Ravens news. It's the fact that John Harbaugh came out in a press conference on Wednesday and said, look, He's not playing on Sunday. He's like, I don't really want to talk about it, but there's some long-term issues there. He almost made it sound like Nnamdi Madubuike's playing days could be over. And you never want to see that from a player, especially somebody. I mean, anybody really, but he plays at such a high caliber. Just made that huge contract with the Ravens. He's become a huge part of this defense, and we definitely missed him on Monday. I sound like a Baltimore on there. Monday, but Nnamdi Madubuike, unfortunately, looks like he's going to be out long term due to this neck injury. You don't want to play with any kind of neck issue, but there's a chance, like, potentially we may have seen Nnamdi's last play on the football field ever already. I mean, it's kind of scary to think about.
It's very concerning, man. We don't want to mess around with any neck injuries at any point in a player's career. We've seen some devastating injuries in the past in the NFL with neck injuries. That has to be taken seriously. So for all the frustration out there, this is part of the game, unfortunately. But apart from Madubuike's injury, right, which is serious and you have to take it for what it is, the Ravens injury report just this past week. Now, obviously, waking up here on a Purple Friday, remains to be seen what the final injury report will be. But, dude, the list of DNPs, man, and we know Madubuike's on that list, but Travis Jones, DNP, likely was limited in a fashion, so we could see a return. And again, if likely don't play again, I'm going to start right there. Should have just put him on the pup list to begin with because it's 4 weeks. Ricard, DNP, missed him in the running game. Stanley, DNP, did not practice. And a lot of these aren't personal because usually sometimes there's a DNP designation, but sometimes it's personal. No, these are all foot, neck, calf, hamstring, ankle related. It's all over the place. Kyle Van Noy, not practice. Broderick Washington, not at practice this week. So, like I said, always the Wednesday's the tell, but the Friday's the real story. So we'll see what comes out, and obviously we'll keep you abreast on the socials if once the inactives list and all get released and who's going to be deployed for the Ravens. But Brandon, man, same old broken record for the Ravens. It's the frustration's mounting. Fans are looking for answers. The defense is awful. Last in pass defense. In talking with this a little bit, the Lions could have done just whatever they wanted. The Ravens, the inability to punch it in on the 1 yard line on 1st and goal isn't excusable. Here we are again. Henry again, 3 straight fumbles. It's like what gives? I just don't have any answers anymore. Like, it's just frustrating. And someone's got to be to blame. And look, the Ravens start 1-3, 2-4, 2-5. You got to change it. And you can point to injuries as one thing to be detriment. Because look, there's injuries all over the place, offense and defense right now. But what is the solve? And obviously it starts at the top and like coaching and all that. But I don't know. But what the frustration part is they're wasting Lamar's window, and I don't want to focus on just him, right? It's a team sport, team effort, but like from a perspective of just Lamar, ultra talented year 8, here we are again, man. And for a team that was tied for the best odds going into the season for making it to the Super Bowl, winning it all. Again, injuries are part of it, but the play on the field and the execution, dude, putting the ball on the ground at the untime. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with Henry, man. He rarely fumbles in his career, and then leading off the season, he's got fumbleitis, dude. I don't know what doctor in Baltimore can cure the fumbleitis. I don't know if you have a recommendation, but Henry, man, like it points me back to that Friday Night Lights movie.
I was just about to mention that.
Like duct tape. Hold on to the football. like why are you coughing up? Get the. I even stood up in the stands and screamed, "Get the duct tape!" Like, well, what's your problem? Like, we got Lamar had the fumbleitis early in his career. Hold on to the football. Like, what's good? Like, I can understand, like, the first week. All right. Second week, all right, it's an anomaly. Like, all right, but 3 straight weeks in a row. And it's led to the demise in a crucial point in the game where the points off turnovers. I don't care if the Lions were held to 3 at that point. 3 points is 3 points. When you're in a dogfight, you can't do that. And what the Ravens did, and I got to go back because everything was a blur. I can't remember if the inability to get in on the 1 yard line led to Lions points the other way. But like, bro, they're playing the Chiefs team that looked awful.
Yeah.
Pretty much for the most of the game against the Giants, and the Giants had any sort of playmaking ability, they probably would have gave them a fight, probably would have won the game, and the Chiefs would have been starting 0-3. Chiefs looked awful in the first half. Like, it was dookie. They were on the Giants level. It was kind of like Kelsey was wide open in the middle of the field, and Mahomes like literally threw a sideways pass and like completely missed Kelsey, like wide open, like missing passes. They can't run the football. Obviously, they got a great defense with a great defense coordinator, but like, holy moly, like, Chiefs are broken. And I've always said maybe it's the curse of the proposal because, the Chiefs don't look the same, but it's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid. It's still Travis. It's still the Chiefs, man. And it's still Arrowhead. It's still a road game. It's a big AFC game with massive implications for the remainder of the season. And look, if the Ravens end up starting 1-3, is the season done? Look, you still got to play the games. That's their third loss, but the problem is they're 2 games under 500 at that point. Something's got to give, and then we're going to be really searching for answers in the next podcast. Like, we're really going to search for it because they come home against the Texans and then got the Rams. You kind of have to look in the future a little bit because it does look bleak. Their schedule gets a little better given now that we know what the teams are about week 3 going into week 4. I mean, Dolphins are horrible. I mean, they got them on a Thursday night late in October. You got a home game against the Texans. Texans, you don't want to throw your hat in the field and start counting wins as guaranteed, but Texans at home should be a dub. Rams are going to give the Ravens a problem, so you probably count that as a loss. Like, the Ravens could be staring at a 2-4 barrel because the next 3 games got Chiefs, Texans, and you got another home game against the Rams. But there's a stretch where the Ravens are at home after this road game in Arrowhead. They're at home for a whole month. They have 3 straight home games with a bye week included. So, and then it comes off a bye week, and they go play the Bears at home. So the round out October. Then they go on the road to complete October in Miami. But then you got the Jets, you got the Patriots, you have the Vikings who have quarterback questions right now, moving on from JJ McCarthy and going to Carson Wentz right now. So, I don't know. And I know this is Ravens Chiefs right now, but looking at the future, you kind of have to with the Ravens position with the record, man. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm a little frustrated given everything that's going on. Dude, this is scary concerning that they might not even win a division at this point with Joe Burrow going down. You don't want to celebrate an injury, but the door is again wide open for this division. And they just can't get out of their own way. Like, I just don't understand it, man.
I mean, we at least got our eyes opened a little bit this past Monday because the story was always there's one team that can beat the Baltimore Ravens, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. The Lions showed, no, there's other teams that can beat them. And because the Lions outplayed them, outcoached them, did all of that. Ravens, yes, they made mistakes, but they also got outplayed. So the Lions were the better team on Monday night. This team and the Chiefs team, both, they always start out slow for whatever reason. Maybe it's because, like, Lamar and the boys don't have any preseason games under their belts. They're still a little rusty coming into it. But I mean, that's kind of making excuses, but I don't understand it. And there's always been that crowd that calls for Harbaugh's head whenever a game doesn't go our way, and they just say that he looks lost out there. If they start out and they lose this coming Sunday, that seat, that Harbaugh's on could definitely get a little bit warmer. Zach Orr, who I've been such a supporter of, I mean, he looked like he had his defense didn't work on Monday. It just, any play that he called was the incorrect way to go. They got to Jared Goff 0 times. Lamar got sacked 7 times. Jared Goff got sacked 0. You look at Roquan Smith talking about a 0, a guy who got AFC Defensive Player of the Week a week before. He was a ghost on the field this past Monday. He cannot play that way. As one of the leaders on this team, he cannot do that. Marlon Humphrey still has the Jets, and he was able to track down one of the other Lions players, but he didn't have the greatest game either. And he's come out, and I think he's kind of vocal. I don't think Marlon Humphrey's happy here. You watch his new YouTube show, he looks like he's distraught, and he looks like he's sick of it, and he doesn't like the play that are being called for the Ravens defense. So if this is a loss come Sunday and we don't see improvements, I could see heads rolling. I still doubt that John Harbaugh is going anywhere, because it's one of those things. It's the same thing that people are like, we should get rid of Lamar. Do you have any idea how quickly that player or that coach would get snatched up by another team? Like, it's one of those things, like, it's love the one you're with, because it could be a lot worse. Harbaugh is a good coach. I know everybody doesn't agree with that, but the second he would be let go, man, he'd be on a flight somewhere else getting paid big bucks to go coach somewhere else. Like, it is definitely the case of that. He's talented. He's well liked around the league. He's not going anywhere.
Well,
but go ahead.
I'm actually going to look up something. Because, and look, I'm not comparing because the resumes are vastly different, but I'm looking up the University of North Carolina for a reason.
Oh, Lord.
And you know why?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick. I've been peeping some of their games. I'm looking at the record, football record. I'm looking because I think they're winless, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it hasn't been good for good old Bill. It's been like 30-0 blowouts.
All right, they're 2-2. I mean, they won a game 41-6, but then lost 20-3. They just lost 34-9.
Yeah.
This past weekend. So they're 2-2. But and in 2 games I watched, obviously, was the 2 blowout losses that were peeped and they were getting killed. Absolutely. But like you said, like Harbaugh might be snatched up. It could probably be in the college ranks. I say I'm not so fast, right? Because again, you know me, I've been tooting the horn for years here. Harbaugh. I like the guy. The message is getting stale. Something's got to give, and there's no accountability. Like there was a breakdown of the game this week. It was compared to the 2023 title game against the same very Chiefs team this Sunday coming up. The Ravens ran 47 to 53% run plays. The balance was heavily favored towards the run in the first half. They called 75% pass plays in the second half. They weren't getting blown out at that point. It's like Todd Monken gets this problem where they get away from their identity. The Ravens' identity is run the football with Henry, Lamar, and company, and complement the pass. Play action, go off of that, roll out. Like, even with the goal line stand, like, where's the plays? Like, where's the Lamar bootleg that we're used to seeing? Like, where's the strengths of this team? Even with Lamar, like, being erratic in a pocket now. Granted, he hasn't turned the ball over yet this season, but get rid of the football, Lamar. Like, he looked wound up like his rookie year. Like, the receivers weren't there. He's dropping back, and then he's frantically running around, and he's holding on the football because I know what he wants to do. He wants to make a play down the field.
Right.
Throw the ball away and live a new day. Because, again, he was very close to fumbling on that 4th down play, which it really wouldn't matter because it was turnover and downs. Unfortunately, it would have counted as a fumble lost. But that play reminded me of just like the divisional game. Holding on to the football, trying to make a play, and then drop the football carelessly. And you had to think, right, the Derrick Henry run. He runs 30 yards, and you're like, game on. He's going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. The Ravens are going to roll. They're going to run the football at will, and it was a polar opposite. Henry had 50 yards, and 30 of it came on one run. That's it.
Yeah.
And then embarrassing fashion, not with the pass defense, but the Ravens allowed over 240 yards rushing as a team since like 8 years ago. Embarrassing. And I cashed in live on the game. I took live bets on the 2 running backs of the Lions overs. And I cashed in because I'm like, Ravens can't stop the run. At least I'm going to get paid for it. And I mean, it's embarrassing. And again, if the defenses have already given up close to 40 points in 2 games this year, 38-41. The Ravens can't score 50 points. They can't outscore the opponent. Like, what are they going to do? And what worries me, man, is the guy that's calling the defense for the Chiefs this Sunday. Spags was his name is Steve Spagnuolo. He took away Malik Neighbors Sunday night for the Giants. And I expected it, and I called it, and I was right, because that's what they do. You don't think that they're going to draw up a game plan and look at the film, what the Lions did with the schemes and the spies and what they did to keep Lamar limited and what he can do, and you don't think the Chiefs are going to draw up a game plan because it's coaching? Right now, dude, if you had to ask me a prediction right now, I think the Ravens get spanked on Sunday because of coaching. They have Andy Reid, they have Steve Spagnuolo over there. They're going to get out coached, man. They're going to go in the lab and they're going to draw up a game plan to limit Lamar and what he can do. They already know Henry's weaknesses, and you don't think they're going to attack the football and punch that thing out? Ravens are weak everywhere. Defense, I mean, yeah, offensively they're putting up points, but they got one win in 3 games.
Yeah.
And again, it was against the Browns in a masterclass, and even that was a crazy game because they put up 40 points against a Browns defense who limited the Packers to just 10 points, and they won the game the very next week. The NFL, man, it's crazy. Dude, I don't know, man, but rubber meets the road. You want to put your faith in the Ravens, like, all right, it's a must win. They can't fall 1-3. They're going to get down the road. But I'm like, dude, this is a big of a task for this team that I can remember early in the season. Like, yes, the Chiefs are staring at a 1-2 record right now, and they're staring right down the barrel of the same thing as the Ravens are. 1-3 start. This is the 1-3 bowl. Who'd have thought that? If you'd have told me before the season the Ravens Chiefs would line up in week 4 and both would be just 1 win, I'd laugh. I'd be like, no, there's no way. No way. Like, I just don't have faith in the Ravens with this game plan, man. Like, what are you guys going to do in Arrowhead? It's a hostile environment. It's the Chiefs. I don't care how bad Mahomes is playing right now. I don't care how and they got injuries too, right? Xavier Worthy's supposed to be coming back or supposedly coming back this week.
He was a full participant on Wednesday. So
correct, yes.
Yeah.
And I only know him in fantasy a little bit. So, they're not as depleted as the Ravens are. But yeah, Xavier's coming back. Obviously, we know the Rashee Rice suspension is still in play, and they're missing that big playmaker. And everybody's alluding to that. Oh, well, Josh, the Chiefs are hurt. Of course they're 1-2. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. You're seeing how mediocre Mahomes is with his guys. Like, I mean, I don't want to sit here and compare quarterbacks and errors, but how good was Tom Brady all these years, and it didn't really matter who he had. Like, it just didn't matter. I mean, Manning had Wayne and Harrison his whole career. Name the receivers that Brady's had outside of Randy Moss and is pretty much on his last legs that he had a career year when he was in New England. But that's my point is you're already seeing how bad Mahomes is, and Mahomes is off. And you kind of have to hope, does the Ravens defense get that crappy Mahomes right now that's just like not with it? But the problem is the Chiefs are going to they're like the Steelers. They find ways to win at the end of the game. I don't care how bad they played the first half. The game's close. Mahomes is going to make that play that breaks the Ravens back, and that's going to be the problem. Kelsey's not had looked the same, and he's on La La Land with Taylor, man. He's done. But it's still Travis Kelce. You still got to count for him on the field. This is going to be a huge task, man. And I almost don't see a path to victory for the Ravens right now. I don't.
And here's the thing, like the Ravens have all of these golden opportunities to really build on something. And like you said, you're worried about the AFC North and not being able to win that. I mean, the Browns are not going to stick with Joe Flacco this entire season. They're not. It's the experiment's not working out for them already. A lot of these teams, like we're seeing across the league, are making changes at QB. We're seeing the Giants do that. I don't see Joe Flacco being the quarterback much longer in Cleveland. So Cleveland's doing their normal Cleveland thing. So them winning the division doesn't look like it. Like you said, Joe Burrow is out potentially for the entire season. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to run away with it. And then you have Aaron Rodgers, a guy in his 40s playing for the Steelers. And, they'll make the playoffs. That's just what the Steelers do. They'll go 8-8 or something like that. So like the Ravens have a golden opportunity to just waltz away with the AFC North with the leadership of Lamar Jackson. Now, like you said, this game coming up with the Chiefs, they are up against an out of sync Patrick Mahomes. He's throwing the ball short. Things aren't working out. You've got Travis Kelce getting in Andy Reid's face on the side. There's a lot of emotions. You've got Xavier Worthy, who's probably going to be rusty because he's just coming back and practicing on Wednesday. You've got all these things that are not working out. The Ravens have every single golden opportunity to turn things around. Luckily, this stretch of games that we're talking about right now isn't in December or late November or something like that. It's still early on in the season. We've got a couple more days left of September. So they have this golden opportunity it's not too late. They can still turn things around. They can still waltz away with the AFC North championship. It's not over yet, but if they continue to dig this hole deeper and deeper, it's going to be harder and harder to climb out of.
Right. And they're their own demise for digging the hole themselves.
Right.
Like I get it, right? Apart from the Lions again, they came into Baltimore and they were the bullies. They were the Baltimore bullies personified. They came in, dude. You watched it when Jared Goff and that offense went down and had a 18 play, 10-minute, 98-yard drive to score a touchdown. I looked at my bum like, dude, this is bad. Like the Lions can do that, and we can't get every time we stayed up a third down, man. They stop him first. It's third down. Nope. Couldn't get him off the field. And the Lions set the tone early. They went for it on fourth down, deep in their in enemy territory, because they didn't respect the Ravens' defense. The telltale sign was right in front of you from the beginning in the first quarter. They're lining up to go for it, and they got it. You're like, how embarrassing is that? Dan Campbell and his crew already knew the Ravens. Their defense is bad. Let's go attack them. You don't think Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs are going to do the same? Come on, man. Like, they're going to attack. And if the Ravens start this game on defense first, you might have to watch the game between your fingers and cover your face because I'm a little afraid. I just don't know. I can't even almost even predict it. I mean, if I had to predict, it'd be a loss. But I don't, again, say it again, I don't see a path to victory right now because I need to see it. I need to see the Ravens correct everything, coach well, do something about it. Come on, Harbs. Like, do something about it. Yeah, and again, I know he's not on the field playing defense, all at positions, and you got injuries, and you got to make that. But, like, everybody's tamed before the season. Best roster on paper. This is the best roster assembled. You have one of the best secondaries in football, and Marlon's getting burnt.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he's all down in the dumps doing his podcast. Well, rightfully so. He's sucking right now at his job. Like, and who am I to say on a podcast that I don't cover NFL receivers? Like, he's not going to criticize. It's not like Marlon's going to criticize my job. He don't do my job. But it's easy for us to say sitting here, but we're seeing the play on the field. Like, it's bad. Do something about it. Like, this is 3 weeks in. We got a sample, and we're getting the same defensive performance that we talked about last year. The whole first half of last year, the Ravens had the worst pass defense. The same old situation. And they were healthier last year. Same situation. Can't get to the quarterback. I know they're down their sack leaders. So again, we can start giving benefit of doubts here. And they're without Matabike up front. Big guy, plugged the run. And that's why the Lions attacked the run. You don't think the Chiefs are going to do the same thing with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt? Come on, man. And Mahomes still has a motor. He'll run around and do his 20, 30, 40-yard bit and get first downs because the Ravens flush him out of pocket. I can just see this being a bad day. Another bad day for the Ravens. And we're going to come on next week and go, 1-3, man. What do we do? I don't know. It's bleak. And again, the frustration's mounting because they're so talented and the pressure's there. They're right on the cusp and they can't get over the hump. It's the same old broken record. Play calling's got to get better. Henry's got to hold the football. The defense has to play better. Roquan, everybody. Like, step up, man. You had a prime opportunity in Monday Night Football with the all black. If I'd recorded the wake-up call, I was going to say darkness falls. Yeah, darkness fell on the Ravens for sure because, like, come on, man. Like it's dark here. And it just sucks. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's frustrating. It sucks. And no one has answers. It's just bad, and it's got to get better. It's got to get better. and it's embarrassing to watch, man. It's fun. It's also fun too because then you're just like everybody's, well, I'm your boys, and I have no answers. They're horrible. They're losers. They suck. Like I don't know what to do. Like hate to even start uttering this kind of language, but it's like that's what they are. Their identity. They're bad. They're a bad football team right now. They have broken things, and it starts at the top of leadership. Take accountability. Rein in your coordinators. Get them in a meeting. Say, hey guys, like let's go. And I feel like, yeah, Harbaugh's seat, to your point, might be warmer if losses start mounting, but I think coordinators gotta be looked at too, man. Because now it does fall under the purview of the head coach, right? If you don't like what you're seeing, go over to your guys. Change the scheme. Hey guys, like I get you're coordinating the offense and that's your stick, but like I don't like what's going on here. Fix it. But
now there's nowhere to go but up, especially for Lamar Jackson, because his record right now in Arrowhead is 0-3. So I think going in there, going in there Sunday, win
That's
this.
It's almost like not winning in Pittsburgh. Like it's just like you just can't do it. Like here we go, monkeys are there, demons are there. Like we can't win it. We can't win an Arrowhead. Can we win an Arrowhead? I with this team, state of this team right now, I don't see it. Like this team, I hate to say it, this team's going to be 1-3 very easily unless they come out shock us. They come out and do something incredible, and then you're like, oh boy, and we're there Sunday afternoon, late Sunday evening, and we're like, all right, Ravens, I see you, man. Got back to 500, and record what it is. Brandon, the Ravens, I get it. We're 0-2 last year. They went on a run. They got back to 500, won games. They got on the other side of 500 pretty quickly, and we know what they did. They won the division. A little bit harder this time. But the play, the inability to execute, the injuries, there's a lot in there. There's a lot going on that's outside of their favor right now, but they got to pull it together. Look, if they pull it together and win a close contested game on Sunday afternoon by 3 or 4 points, and I can at least respect them, like, look, Ravens gave it the best effort, the Chiefs bested them. Like, but if the Ravens go out there and fumble the ball again and give it to Mahomes, or Lamar scrambling around will get rid of it. If it's the same old broken stuff, I about had it, man. Something's got to change. Look, I can accept losses as a fan with this team if they just go out and execute and they just get beat. But don't make it easy for the other team. Yeah, the Lions could have done what they did, and the Ravens still were in a game. It was a shootout until it almost was broken at the end, and it wasn't. But, like, you can't turn the ball over. You got to execute, throw the ball away, run, execute when you're down there in the goal line. Like if it's 1st and goal against the Chiefs on the 1 and they couldn't punch it, like these are playoff teams. Lions and Bills, they're playoff teams, and you're making the stupid, crazy mistakes. Like I know the feel good story was the trouncing Joe Flacco return in Baltimore and the Browns, and they snuffed that out pretty quickly, and it was an offensive onslaught, and it was a relaxing game. But there's the flashes, and they still had, Brandon, they had the same injuries on defense during that game, right?
Right.
Like Van Noy didn't play the Browns game. Matabike didn't play the Browns game. But maybe was the Browns offense, Joe Flacco, that bad? I mean, yeah, I get it. Joe and that Browns team is not on Josh Allen's level or Jared Goff's level in that offensive capability, and obviously now they got Mahomes here, but it's like, but again, think about the team. Like I said, I knew this first 4 weeks of schedule was going to be bad.
Yeah.
You play Allen on the road, you play Mahomes on the road, and you play a Jared Goff team at home on a Monday night. Within all that, and then you had the return with the emotional return with Flacco coming into town. Like, craziness, man. Like, dude, I don't know. But it's going to be fun for sure. A Sunday afternoon, man. If I've never need a must win this early in the season for a football team, this is it, bro.
And you really think about it, this is going to be the 3rd football game you can watch of the 4 that day, because there's an early Dublin game that the Steelers are going to be a part of at 9:30. Then you got your 1 o'clocks, then you got your Ravens game, and then you got 8 o'clock Sunday night football. So you're going to be on the couch for a while at this point. And if you've just been sitting there and the Steelers win, and then I don't know who you're going to watch 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't want to start the day out with that, because now you just fire me up. Imagine that. If we got to start off and the Steelers are 3-1, how much more pressure does that put on the Ravens?
Exactly.
Stop! Oh my God, I'm getting sick. Stop! I really am. Like, don't do that. And of course the Sunday nighter's a banger.
Right.
We got Micah Parsons returning with the Packers in Dallas, so that's a marquee matchup. Monday Nighter's a doubleheader. Got some blah matchups, but it's a doubleheader for what it is if you love your football, Phil, and you need them for your bets and fantasy and everything else in between. But yeah, week 4, as we know it, is going to be a doozy. Yeah, start you off early with the Steelers game. So gotta hope for a loss on that one, man.
Yes. That would be
And
very,
yes,
very, very good.
even if it is not in the States, losses still count. It will be a loss for the Steelers. Don't do that. Everyone's like, oh, don't count. It's not here. Yeah, well, of course it counts. They play international games all the time, but let's really hope for and manifest the Steelers' loss on Sunday morning for our sakes. Because if not, the AFC North is going to get away quick, very quickly, and then we got to hear about it the whole season. And we don't play the Steelers till late in the year. Yeah,
things could be very different by that point, but we'll see what happens.
Man,
We got to get through week 4 right now.
If it's Sunday evening and the Steelers are 3-1, the Ravens are 1-3, we might not even do a podcast anymore. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But like, I don't. This is going to be bad. And then we got to have Jeff on the show, and we have to hear about it.
Yeah,
love you, Jeff. Love you, Jeff. It's our great guy, Fans First Sports Network, Steelers guy. But yeah, but that's going to be even a fun chat for sure. But I don't want to think about it. Let's I mean, but again, that's out of Ravens' control. I mean, we as fans can root and manifest it all we want, but Ravens, they got to line up, take care of business there ahead, and it's going to be a big mountain to climb. So, yeah, they better wise up.
All right, so let's go over our predictions here. Unfortunately, we gotta do our predictions for week 4. So, Josh, what are you thinking? Ravens versus Chiefs. Who's winning and what's the score going to be?
You have to ask. Can I sit? Am I allowed to sit this one out? Not that. Bro, I'm gonna say. I think I'm going to say 28 24 Chiefs.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I told you all, I'm not going to sit here on the show and say I don't see a Ravens path to victory and turn around and be like, Ravens win and a miracle. Like, dude, you got to show me, man. And it's dookie. It's bad. I again don't see a path to victory. I would love to. I'd love to have anybody on the show with me and you to talk this out. If there's a path, and if you see a path to victory, I'd love to hear your defense on that. But I just don't see it. I think the Ravens are going to fall into a big hole here. We're going to have problems. I don't see it. I just don't. It's Arrowhead. It's Mahomes. It's coaching. It's everything. And Ravens are broken right now. And I just don't have confidence. I just don't see it. There, like you said, Marlon's all down the dumps on his podcast. Like, there's no confidence. Like, you're about to play one of your greatest opponents in the conference in a huge game with implications. Like, come on, man. Like, where's like the Steelers hate week? Like juice. Like, I need the juice. And right now, I'm not motivated as a fan. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm nervous to watch this game. I can't. I'm not excited at all. I'm sick. Like, I don't want to watch it. I'm going to, but I don't. That's my take. What say you, bro?
I also think the Chiefs are going to win this one, unfortunately. I think it's going to be 27-17 Chiefs.
Wow.
That's what
Double
I think.
score victory.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a close one. I'm giving them the benefit to keep it close, but I don't even know. That's why I was like struggling with the score, because I was like, because the Ravens are going to put up points. Now 24 might be a little generous to the Chiefs defense, but it's the Chiefs defense. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with mine. We'll see what happens. We're predicting this team at 1-3, and it's going to be fun to watch.
And looking back at our schedule release predictions, we both predicted L's this week back in the day.
That's honest. So there we go. We're on. Yeah. There's no way they're winning this game.
And currently, right now, just through the first 3 weeks, I am 2-1, and you are 2-1. So,
well, we'll be 3-1
yeah,
if this holds. But hey, we predicted an L, so hopefully the Ravens can help us out. But
I will gladly take an L if the Ravens can get a dub.
I'll take an L too. Well, maybe I'll. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I'll reverse it because I'm so horrible at bets. I'll just put money on the Ravens to win the game, and then they'll actually or I'll put money on the Chiefs to win, or whatever I was trying to say. And then maybe the Ravens will win. I don't know, but we'll see what happens Sunday evening. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Josh. Well, have we covered everything for this episode of The Call?
But darkness is definitely there, and it's plenty more. Go with the Raven. You better score more points than the Chiefs. Yeah, I butchered that. Now I don't know. Yeah, you got it. There's the sign off.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you want to chat with Josh or I, you can. I am on X and Blue Sky at Brando Cash. Josh, where can people follow you at?
They can follow me on MySpace. No, I'm kidding. That's still a thing. No, I got another guy sold it. Now you can follow me on the X/Twitter at AJ_Mer.
Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Call Podcast. Like us over there. Whenever a new show comes out, you'll be the first to know. We are always sharing anything that we find over on YouTube and everything onto our Facebook page, trying to share the Kyle Van Noy show, the Marlon Humphrey show, so we can kind of get like a player perspective and that kind of stuff. So we're sharing all that kind of stuff over on our Facebook page. Check us out. We are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you rate us over on Spotify. Leave us an Apple Podcast review. Tell everybody on social media, say, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I listen to The Call, and you should too. So that is pretty much it for the show this week. It's Ravens, it's Chiefs. It is the 1-3 bowl. Who would have ever seen that coming? But Josh, take us out the way you always do.
As usual, the unpredictability of the NFL season. Just never know what we're going to get, right? Here it is, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Arrowhead, week 4. Schedule came out. We knew this one was going to be a doozy, and it's a doozy. Like Brandon just said, it's the 1-3 bowl. Unless these two teams ended the tie, it would build in their favor. But maybe that's a possibility. Maybe you should have predicted a tie to turn the tide. I don't know. I really don't. But you heard the breakdown. I've seen the reactions on the socials. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's in the same boat. And look, I'm not going to give a sign-off on a rah-rah speech. Ravens know what they need to fix. And I'm tired of the same old just spiel. Go out and fix it and execute and prove us wrong. Because we're all predicting you for an L. We're not confident. I mean, the fan base ain't confident. The players got to be confident. They're the one doing the job. I implore you to be confident. Go out and put the best effort. Get back to Ravens football. The Lions played like a Raven on Monday night. The Ravens played like the Browns. Let's go out and play like Ravens. Let's go out and try to get that dub and prove us all wrong. Prove you still belong. Prove there's still the divisions in your control. And right all the wrongs. I'm not asking you to be perfect. Just go out and execute. We know, because we're frustrated, we know what Ravens brand football looks like. Injuries aside, we know what it is. Go out and get it done, guys. We're going to root hard and watch for you, but hey, it's going to be tough. Baltimore Ravens, how about it? Can you please go to Arrowhead and please sort of try to fly high? All right? Let's do it.
This has been a production of Brando Cash Entertainment. Music by Brad Lepore and Daniel Kelly from the DBK Studio. For more information, go to brandocash.com.